What is going on, guys? Welcome to Greggles TV Daily Rewinds, where we go back a week and give you all of your tech news in one single video. I'm recording this on the Pixel 4a, so if it's, I don't know, sounds weird, it looks weird, that's why. But this week was awesome, especially for new devices. Microsoft's new Surface Duo went up on pre-order. Videos came on about it, a 35-minute video and then 3 additional new videos, so you definitely want to check it out because I'm very excited about that phone. You might not be, but after you watch the videos, you might be. I know it made me way more excited. Also, we had the launch of other devices that you could pre-order or /reserve for Samsung, so you want to check those out. Shipping dates for Note 20 are starting to come out. Even by the time you watch this video, you might actually have the Note 20 in hand. And then beyond that, all kinds of other stuff with Samsung and other companies as well. So check it out. Let me know what your favorite news story is of the week, and I'll see you down the road. Let me know how this sounded, at least this little initial part with the Pixel 4a. Let's get into the tech news. First story of the day is about the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 5G. If you've been wanting that phone, you can actually purchase it today. Pre-orders obviously have been out for a few days at this point, but actual orders are being delivered today. So and at this point, there's no more pre-orders, but you can order it. Samsung, your carrier, Best Buy. I'll link a couple things down below if you want to take advantage of the order. Again, right now, I remember $14.49 if you buy it outright. Next up, Hydrogen OS is coming out, which is the Chinese version of the Oxygen OS software for OnePlus phones. And this is going to be, again, very similar to the same features coming over to Oxygen OS with Android 11, and you're getting a bunch of new features. Some of those new features are a smart photo gallery. You'll also get a Pixel-esque voice recorder, always on display, finally, dark mode, a real dark mode, along with support for multiple users and much more. This should be out in the next couple of months for everybody. Next up, Samsung put out a video explaining ultra-wideband technology, also known as UWB or UWT, and they put out, the video was in Korean, but I took some screenshots from the video to tell you a little bit more about it. And basically what it's going to be good for is for file sharing and for photos and for calendar event sharing. And the way it works is you'll point to share, meaning you'll have this little dot on the screen that you'll use to share. There will also be a Smart Things Find, which is part of their smart home products. Digital keys will be a big thing, so you can unlock your car or your home, things like that. Also, it tells you that there'll be the compatibility with it will be intuitive and automatic. And then also it looks like it's going to end up expanding to multiple different products. So I said the house, the car. You're also looking at the watch, Samsung Pay, your washer dryer, your television set, your smartphone, your headphones, all kinds of vacuum, all kinds of different devices where this technology will take place and expand to. And the last story of the day is a little comparison again of the Galaxy Z Fold 2 versus the Galaxy Fold 1. And here's the front displays side by side, real photos of them, and you can see on the left you're getting the Generation 1, the Galaxy Fold 1, and look how much bezel is around that versus the Galaxy Z Fold 2. It's remarkable how much they slimmed that down and made it look a lot better on the Galaxy Z Fold 2. And then when the display is completely wide open, this is another real image that you'll see with the two displays and the huge notch cutout in the top right of the Fold 1 versus just almost completely squared or rectangle Galaxy Fold 2 with a little punch hole camera in the top right. They just did a remarkable job with that technology. And then at the bottom of the phones, you will see USB-C, speakers, microphone, all that stuff there for the two phones. Let's get into the tech news. First story of the day is about Xbox Game Pass. Remember, this is going to be a big selling point or collaboration, as you might want to call it, with Samsung phones. Well, you don't need a Samsung phone to necessarily use Game Pass on your Android device. And actually starting today, if you're an Xbox Game Pass subscriber, which anybody can be at this point, and you download the app, which is in the Google Play Store, which is available right now, you can start playing Xbox games that are available with Xbox Game Pass right now as of today. Now, the official launch is September 15th, but if you want to use it from now until that launch, you can. The link to download the app is down below. And just remember, you need a phone, a game controller, and you'll also need to be a subscriber to the Xbox Game Pass subscription. Next up, Samsung put out an official video talking about the Galaxy Note 20's newest S Pen features. You might be wondering, how did Samsung improve the S Pen experience overall? Well, they make a few points. One of them is machine learning, and they show off that it kind of knows and predicts where you're gonna go based off what it's learned. Also, the 120 hertz display is a big deal with improving the capability, the latency, and all of that with the new S Pen. You might be curious about some of the new features, such as air actions. And they go on and show you all the new air actions and how you use them with the S Pen, and they look fairly simple, but it's still a little bit weird to me using those air actions. You might love it, but from the past, I never used it, and now it just seems kind of strange to be flicking this way and that way in the air. And then they also talked about how the Samsung Notes app has provided improved usability, and they go on to show a bunch of different ways that it's improved and that you can use it with the S Pen and how it all integrates, and it's all this, formation of synchrony. If you're interested in the Samsung Galaxy Buds Lives, which I love, guys. I'm putting out multiple videos about these, how to hook them up to your iPhone, your Android phone. I've done a first impressions video. I just released today a 30 questions answered video. Well, if you want to order the white or the black on Samsung's website, you can order it and get them within a couple of days. There's no back order on that. But the bronze seems to be quote unquote sold out at this point. It is delayed until September 4th. So you're gonna have to wait until September 4th if you want the bronze ones, and you order them through Samsung.com. So basically it turns it into almost a pre-order at that point. The bronze is nice, don't get me wrong, but I think white or black is the safer bet in terms of color. But regardless, they're all available right now for order. It's just the bronze ones will come not until September at this point. And then lastly, speaking of Galaxy Note 20 Ultra pre-orders, it looks like, as you know, if you've ordered it, or we talked about even yesterday, they're gonna ship out as early as August 19th. Well, it looks like we have some light at the end of the tunnel in terms of these being released even sooner than we thought. If you have a FedEx account, which I recommend you doing because it's free, first of all, go to FedEx.com, sign up for an account. It attaches to your address. It's really cool because it allows you to see any packages you have coming to you already, and package slips printed up that are going to be coming to you. And that last part, coming to you, I found a Samsung one because one of my users reached out to me, told me about this, and I looked at my own, and mine matches his, and it looks like my phone will be shipping out August 17th and arriving August 19th. So it's right around the corner, coming 2 days earlier than I assumed it would, because before it said it would ship out on the 19th. Now it's saying it's going to ship out on the 17th and arrive the 19th. So check out your FedEx account, download it, sign up for one, or check it if you already have one, and go into advanced shipments and check that out to see what yours says. But pretty good news, right, so far? Your source for daily tech news. Make sure you're subscribed so you know what's going on in the world of tech. When I say every day, I mean 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Let's get into the news. First story of the day is Des from T-Mobile has done a unboxing, not really unboxing, but a showcase of Samsung products. Specifically, I think the ones that at least that I'm interested in, and probably you will too, because there's not a lot of information on it, is the Samsung Galaxy Fold 2. I'll put it in the video down below. The timestamp is around 22 minutes of that video, and he shows off the phone, closed, open. The display looks amazing. It looks bright, it looks large, it looks beautiful. I'm excited. And I always say I'm excited, but hasn't changed. This is a very interesting phone that hopefully will be a sign of things to come, because foldables and dual displays, which I'll be doing a video on this. This is a dual display right here. This is the LG Velvet phone. I'll be doing a video on this. They just sent this over to me. Thank you, LG. It's a future of things to come, to be able to get more done with your mobile device. And speaking of getting more done with your mobile device, Microsoft Surface Duo, it's an Android phone / tablet, whatever you want to call it, but ultimately it is a phone, and we've been talking about it for months at this point. The pre-order went up today. It's $13.99 for the 128 gig. And if you want the 256, it's gonna be $14.99. The prices are crazy expensive, especially when we talk about some of the specs that are inside. So let's talk about things about this phone. We'll do some tweets and then we'll show some official, which the tweets are official information, and then we'll look at official website information as well about this phone. So just quick surface type things on here, no pun intended. There's no NFC in this, meaning you won't be able to go up to like a Google Pay terminal and use it. No optical image stabilization built into the camera. It has electronic image stabilization. It comes with a Snapdragon 855, which is last year's processor. 3577 milliamp battery, so kind of a small battery. A mono speaker, meaning there's no stereo speakers in this. 18 watt fast charging, which again, if you compare that to something like Samsung, they have 25 watt and 45 watt fast charging. That's kind of a disappointment. It's two 5.6 inch OLED displays that measure out when they're together to be about 8.1 inch. Pixel Sense Fusion display, as they call it. It does have a 360 hinge, which is going to allow you to, exactly what it says, 360 degrees, the hinge will work. One camera, and it's 11 megapixel f2.0 aperture camera, so you're not gonna get an ultra wide or anything like that. It does come with 6 gigabytes of RAM. Like I said earlier, storage is 128 and 256. 6 gigabytes of RAM is obviously tiny, especially when you consider most phones now, especially flagships, have at least 12 gigabytes. Android 10 with Microsoft Surface Duo UI. September 10th will be the actual delivery date / release date for that phone. Now let's look at some official specs on this phone. Now you can pause the video if you want as I go along, but ultimately you'll see that the resolution on this 1800 by 1350 with a 401 pixels per inch with Gorilla Glass. Supposedly it's Gorilla Glass all the way around the back, the front, so you're gonna probably need a case of this, otherwise if you drop it, most likely it's going to crack. Photos, you get auto mode with low light and HDR multi-frame photo capture and dynamic range scene detection, super resolution zoom and super zoom up to 7x. You get 100x on the Samsung phones. Portrait mode with adjustable depth control, panorama mode, and burst mode. As for video recording, you can do 4K with 30 or 60 frames per second. I'm actually a little bit surprised they let you do 60 frames, but it's a nice little add. 1080p video recording at 30 and 60 as well. And gyro-based digital video stabilization. So it's, again, digital video stabilization, no optical, and there's no actual hardware that'll make it. But hopefully it'll be good. Google has used digital stabilization and it's worked pretty well in the past. For the video conferencing built in, it looks like Microsoft Teams and Skype video, and you'll be able to do that at 1080p. It'll be available unlocked, and it'll work with AT&T and T-Mobile. It should also work with Verizon too, because when you go to the pre-order page, it does say Verizon on there. If you want it locked, it looks like you'll have to get it for only AT&T. Wi-Fi, you can get it on 802.11 AC, so Wi-Fi 5, no Wi-Fi 6 on this. Not the end of the world, but it's something to take hold of. Bluetooth 5.0, which is one of the newest Bluetooth abilities. Then you also, if we go down a little bit here more, it'll come with the Snapdragon 855, like I said, USB-C 3.1 charging, so that's new. The internal storage is UFS 3.0, again, fairly new. It's definitely not 2, so that's a good thing about this. The speakers, like I said, are mono, but it does have a dual mic, noise suppression, and echo cancellation optimization for productive use for all postures. Best-in-class full duplex communication for voice calls and hands-free mode. It has Qualcomm aptX adaptive for audio. Preloaded Microsoft apps. You can see you're going to get the Microsoft Office suite. That includes all those different apps: Outlook, Teams, OneDrive, Edge, OneNote, To-Do, News, Authenticator, Bing Search, Intune Company Portal, LinkedIn, Microsoft Solitaire Collection, who doesn't want to play solitaire on their device, Surface Audio. It also will come with the Surface Duo UI core features, which is dual screen windowing, adaptive modes, app groups, Microsoft 365 feed, dynamic dock, universal search, adaptive camera, Swift key, keyboard, which I'll be switching that to Gboard because I like that better. Your phone companion linked to Windows so you can stream your apps onto your Windows computer. Other pre-installed apps include all the Google apps that you would expect, including Gmail and Chrome and YouTube, contacts, messages, phone, files, clock, calculator, sound recorder, Spotify. If you get the AT&T version, you can see what other apps you'll have installed here that are AT&T specific. The sensors, you'll have a accelerometer, gyroscope, magnet meter, dual ambient light sensor, proximity sensor, hall sensor, and fingerprint sensor. So they will have a fingerprint sensor on there for you. The video playback, obviously Chromecast support, video over USB-C, things like that. Looks like the color is going to be glacier, as I think the English people say, or I say glacier. Other than that, you'll also probably want to know it does support the Surface Slim Pen, Surface Pen, Surface Hub 2 Pen, simultaneous pen and touch are supported, but you'll have to purchase that separately if you want to do it. Inside the box, you'll get the Surface Duo, a Surface Duo bumper, which I guess that's like a case, it sounds like. Surface Duo USB-C power supply, 18 watt, which I said earlier. Quick start guide, warranty and compliance guide, and a SIM ejector tool. 1 year warranty. The cool thing about this, they give you a 60-day return policy, 90 days of free technical support. That's crazy, 60-day return policy. And then here's some photos of the phone as well. Opened dual screen, looking very interesting. Big bezels, it looks like almost like an iPad mini. Here's the hinge on the back of the device. Here's it opened at kind of a 90-degree angle, which I think I'll probably use it like that, especially in bed to watch videos and type on the keyboard and things like that. And then here's another view of that same kind of look to it. Now, obviously the Surface Duo, extremely expensive. A lot of the specs are from last year. I'm still quite interested in using it, and I did pre-order it mostly because they have a 60-day return policy, and there's no restocking fee. And I've been wanting to try this phone out. I'm excited about dual screen phones and using them. It feels like the future. Foldable displays, dual displays, all of that. So I'm excited for it. Your source for daily tech news. Let's jump into the tech news right now with Apple. Now, Apple's going to be releasing their iPhone devices very, very soon, within the next couple of months here. And it looks like we've got some good, legitimate information on when exactly that will be, by a tweet from John Prosser. John Prosser has a great track record, and you can see from his tweet right here, it says new adjusted Apple dates. So if you want the Apple Watch and new iPad, it looks like they're going to announce it via a press release on September 7th. So September 7th, they'll do a press release announcing those two products. And it looks like you'll probably also be able to order it that day as well. As for an iPhone 12 event, it looks like they're gonna have that on October 12th. They'll announce all the new iPhone 12s. And then pre-orders for the iPhone 12 will start on October 12th. Remember, this is regular iPhone 12. And then it'll start shipping on October 19th. So a little bit later than normal. And then also iPhone 12 Pro devices, then they won't actually ship and do pre-orders until sometime in November for the premium edition of the iPhone. I doubt in the big scheme of things this is probably going to hurt them at all. I mean, if people that are going to buy iPhones are still gonna buy iPhones, so I don't think it's going to make a big influx of sales to Samsung devices or LG or OnePlus or some other company. Galaxy Tab S7, S7 Plus. I know some people are waiting for this device. It should be released in the next couple of weeks here at this point. But what about like pre-orders and then, actual release dates after the pre-order? Well, this information comes from South Korea. So the way it looks is that pre-orders, at least in South Korea, are gonna start on August 18th and they'll continue through August 22nd. The device will officially go on sale September 23rd. Now, the reason I'm bringing up South Korea, even though I don't think a lot of people in South Korea watch me, except for you, Sung Ho Kim. Sung Ho Kim? Yeah, Sung Ho Kim. Big fan, thank you. Anyways, you would expect that since we mirror Korea in a lot of ways in terms of release dates, it'll probably happen here in America and a lot of other places as well. So expect, if you're saving money for yourself, that August 18th will probably be the beginning of pre-orders for the Galaxy Tab S7, S7 Plus. And the last story of the day, pre-orders and release dates for the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 2. And we've talked about the release date for it being September 18th. Well, Let's get some more information on the pre-order date as well. Now, this information comes from Evan Blass. Evan Blass has come out and said, not sure if this has already been reported, don't hate it, but pre-orders for the Z Fold 2 are going to start on September 2nd with open sales on September 18th. This makes completely total sense because Samsung's supposed to have an announcement of some sort or an event on September 1st for the Galaxy Z Fold 2. They've officially announced that part already, and it would make sense they would start the release date of pre-orders, I should say, the very next day. Probably, honestly, the same way they did the Note phones, where if you signed up to be part of the pre-order, they'll let you probably pre-order it the day before. I know that happened to me. So if you haven't signed up to reserve your Galaxy Z Fold 2 and you're gonna do it, make sure you do. It's linked down below in the description right there. Official pre-orders, September 2nd, and then you should have it in your hands by September 18th or even a couple of days before that. Let's get into the tech news. First story of the day is, if you're a big Fortnite fan, you probably have already heard this because it was one of the biggest stories yesterday. Fortnite has been banned from the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store due to them circumventing players being able to pay directly through to Epic, who owns Fortnite, and bypassing having to, if you want to do upgrades and things like that, through playing through the Google Play Store and the App Store, and that's what banned them from those two stores at this point. But Fortnite, aka Epic, has done this in a more grandiose thinking, not just because they wanted to circumvent the payment plan of Apple and Google and losing 30% from them. They also are doing this because they feel like those two companies have monopolies over what's going on, especially Apple, because when you have an iPhone, you can only download apps from one store. It's the App Store and nothing else. Google, you can sideload apps and do things like that. So we'll see how it ends up turning out. I know Fortnite, aka Epic, is suing Apple. To see how this turns out, I'll let you guys know. But right now, if you don't see it in the store, that's why. But if you have the game already installed, you should be able to still play it. If you're on Android, you can always go to the Epic website, download it directly, and install it that way. That's an app. That's a video my son's watching. It's no one really screaming. So if you're buying the Galaxy Note 20, Note 20 Ultra, especially here in America, just let you guys know there are no included USB-C earphones. Those are the wired earphones that go at the bottom of your phone into the USB-C, and you can use them. Last year they included, I believe the year before that they included it, and then they also had a headphone jack. They included it with that as well. This is going to be the first year headphones are not included with the Galaxy Note series of phones. So there's a workaround though, because there was a couple articles I saw on Android Police, and also Sam Mobile had one saying that you can basically ask for them. So what I did is I went on Samsung's website, got my order number, because that's where I ordered it, Samsung.com. And once I ordered it, I had to kind of, not fight, but go through a bunch of BS with these guys to be like, yeah, there's no earbuds. And they were like, well, we gave you $200 in credits to get accessories. I'm like, well, the phone's $1,500. And then they were like, okay, let me see what I can do. And they ended up coming back with a message for me saying, Greg, you'll receive an email with the promo code using which you can place the order. I said, oh, awesome, for the USB-C earbuds. They said, yes, correct. And then I thanked them for their help. So basically, if you bought it directly through Samsung.com, what I would do is I would recommend going directly to them, giving them your order number, complaining that you expected to, you're paying so much for this phone, you expected to have USB-C headphones, and I agree, you should have them. Why not? I mean, we're paying so much, and it probably cost them pennies to include it. So ask for them. Go on the site, chat with their support. Next up, the Microsoft Surface Duo. I've told you I'm excited about this phone, and they put out a 35-minute video showing off this device. It blew me away, guys. I'm already excited about it. I'm like crapping my pants, excited. This, you might complain and be like, oh, this phone has a Snapdragon 855, 6 gigabytes of RAM, no SD card, no headphone jack, this and that. And I'll agree, some of that stuff might be a little bit of a turnoff. But when you see this phone in action, if it doesn't blow you away, the software, the smoothness, the integration with the hardware itself, the hinge, the thinness of it, the way it looks like it feels in your hand, it should blow you away. It's completely blown me away. I'm gonna do a full video on this phone, hopefully by next week, detailing some of the things inside this video and my opinions and why you should probably get excited for this phone. Because just do me a favor, take the time, watch that video, and if you're not blown away or even excited by that phone in any way, I don't know if you have a heart. It's amazing. Seriously, I completely blown away. One of my users by the name of Zaid reached out to me on Twitter and told me about a new pre-order offer that Samsung's offering people to buy the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra as a gift. And it's not that bad of a gift, at least if you plan on keeping the phone for a really, really long time. And that gift, as you can see right here from the screenshot, says pre-order now and get your exclusive complimentary Samsung Care Plus, a $250 value. He said he's in the United States, so this is a United States offer. I didn't see it personally on anything on the website or anything like that. I guess he got sent this via email. But it's still interesting that, you know, obviously some people are getting the $200 in bonus gifts or $150 in bonus gifts. Some people are getting the, obviously this one now as well, the complimentary Samsung Care Plus. Last story of the day, very, very good news. Galaxy S20 Ultra orders from at least Sprint are starting to ship out at this point. One of my fans, area code 646, sorry I don't have your name in front of me, sent me a little screenshot showing that the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra 5G 128GB Mystic Bronze UPS has shipped. He has a tracking number. It says ready to ship, and it says that it shipped obviously today, or it's going to ship today. And it says he told me this information, doesn't show it on this, but he told me that the delivery date on this will be August 18th, which is Tuesday of next week. Now, I'm smart enough to know that that might not hold true come next week. It might end up still getting pushed back a couple of days. I've seen that happen before with these shipments and things like that, that they've, you know, they say it's going to come one time and then it comes later on. So don't be too surprised if, you know, your phone ships from Sprint or T-Mobile or AT&T or Verizon or Samsung and you still get it a few days later. But I'm holding out hope. It looks like he's saying it still shows August 18th. So it looks like August 18th. Let's get into the tech news. First story of the day, the Microsoft Surface Duo. Remember, this is Microsoft's dual screen phone. It'll be out September 10th. Pre-orders are available right now. And they released 3 new videos of the Microsoft Surface Duo, and all 3 are kind of similar, but they show different apps. The first one they're going to show is the one where they take 2 browser windows and have both browser windows open at the same time. And it looks like it's Microsoft Edge, so it looks like you're able to run 2 Microsoft Edge windows at the same time, both on different displays to take advantage of that dual display. The next one is the Photos app. So within the Photos app, you have the ability to, you know, look at all your photos on one screen, tap on it and look it on the other screen, and then rotate it so you can just slide through completely with all the photos so you can see them in a really big, large display. And then the last video is all about them showing off their mail app, their Outlook mail app, and how you can, again, use and unify the 2 windows to be able to write email on one, read the other screen, or turn it you know, the tall way so that you can end up just having a big keyboard with the display at the top to type your email out. The only question that remains for me really is how well other apps will integrate and work with the Microsoft Surface Duo, such as Gmail or the Google Photos app or some other app that maybe isn't made by Microsoft or even made by Google for that matter. How well is it going to work? I know we've seen the Instagram app, I believe the Facebook app as well, or Twitter app, I should say. So I know like a lot of the major apps that we probably use are going to work with this, but what about some of the smaller apps if we want to, you know, split it in half and do something like that? That's, I guess, a major question that I have remaining. The next story is all about the Galaxy Tab S7, S7 Plus. A lot of you reached out to me on social media telling me about the pre-reserve is already going on right now. So if you want to reserve it, you can reserve it right now. It's linked down below. Samay Patel, sorry if I butchered your name. He was the first one that reached out to me, so I'll give him a big thanks for letting me know. But yeah, you can reserve it right now and you get a $35 credit to use when the tablet comes out. I believe on anything that you want. I'll put that $35 if I end up getting the tablet, which I do plan on it, towards their keyboard cover, because I think that really pushes and makes everything perfect with this tablet. So I'm excited about that. Put that $35 towards it. So again, if you want to do it, make sure you reserve it, because otherwise you won't get that $35 credit. And the last story is all about Samsung Access. A lot of you guys have been reaching out to me saying, Greg, is the Note 20 going to be part of Access? Is this phone going to be part of Access? And I haven't had any clear-cut answers. I did a few videos on Samsung Access, which is their, think of it as like a Netflix type of program. You hold the phone for as little as 3 months. You can return it for free, or 9 months you can upgrade it to a different phone.
or if you want to upgrade before those 9 months, it's $100, or if you want to cancel before 3 months, it's $100. So there's some nice things going on with this. So I talked to my source. My source told me that, and this could change, but ultimately my source is saying that the Galaxy Note 20 series of phones will be part of Samsung Access come August 21st. That seems to be the launch date for the Note 20 line. So you're gonna have to wait until basically when the phone gets released in order to take advantage of it. Now, in terms of future pre-orders, there's potential that it will be part of that. It's just a logistics thing. The other two phones that I wanted to tell you guys about, the Z Fold 2 and the Z Flip 5G, those phones, as of this moment, are not looking to be part of Samsung Access. That to me is more of a bigger bummer than anything else on this. I mean, it is also a bummer that the Note 20 wasn't even part of the pre-order for Samsung Access. I think that's a big ball drop for Samsung. So those two things right there really hurt the program. I think the Fold phones, especially the Z Fold 2, would have been perfect for this, for someone to get, you know, a monthly price, but kind of be able to upgrade whenever they want, pretty much, for a low price as well, or for free. We've got some shipment dates for the Galaxy Note 20, Note 20 Ultra, at least here in America. Now, as you know, the real release is supposed to be on August 21st, and it always ends up being a couple days before, at least, before people start receiving their orders. Well, in America, it's pretty much a foregone conclusion that people are going to at least get it for a few days, maybe even almost a week ahead of time at this point. So people on Sprint, T-Mobile, Verizon, I didn't hear anybody from AT&T though, so that's probably the only one I really haven't heard back from. But Verizon, T-Mobile, and Sprint, they're looking like those orders are going to arrive as early as tomorrow, the 18th or the 19th. Now, Samsung.com orders, and it's a mixture of unlocked and carrier devices, those as well. 19th I've seen as the earliest so far. So you're looking at 17, 18, 19 as delivery dates for a lot of the carriers. Again, I haven't heard anybody from AT&T, their orders shipping out, or them even seeing their orders just yet. But you would think it's a foregone conclusion that they're going to have these very, very soon, if not by tomorrow. And along with the pre-ordered phones, it looks like Samsung at least is including the extras in that same box, just based off the weight. It's like 3 pounds. So you would think that they're throwing in the extras there as well. Other than that, kind of a slow news day. We're kind of in between devices either being announced and the pre-orders already happening. And then you've got other devices that will still be announced, such as like the Pixel 5 and the new iPhones. What else? I think that's I think that's pretty much it. And like the Microsoft phones, and they are going to be in pre-order and stuff like that. So we're just kind of in the middle of everything right now with tech stuff. What? Someone's at my door.
Front door.
What a great way to end the video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. New videos every single day. My question out to you guys is, if you're getting the Note 20, what percentage of the time do you actually think you use it? Now, for me, I'd say like less than 5% of the time that I have the phone. What about you guys? Let me know in the comments down below. We'll see you guys down the road. Peace.